Hey, how y'all doing, my great people? It has been a minute, and I am excited to get back up into the real talk with you guys. I've missed you. I have been, like I said, busy trying to build this empire. You know, as an empress, we can't really rest until the empire is complete. What's up, y'all? How y'all been doing? Hey, a lot has been going on. I hope that positive things have been going on with you all, and that many blessings, many affirmations, many manifestations of positive things that you have wanted, desired, deserving of, returning unto you as you have given them back to people and our Holy One, our ancestors, and the universe has been given back to you. So, I just want to come through and slide and have some real talk with y'all. It's a lot that is going on in our society and our community. It's a lot of people staying in dysfunctionalism based on loyalty, based on, I say, browbeaten loyalty, beat over the head loyalty, as in you owe me because I was there for you, so you need to stick it out through my foolishness loyalty. That's the type of loyalty that is causing people to leave here before their assigned time. I've been watching the news, and I hear a lot of people get on the interview and say, well, he stayed because it was a stabbing of a guy. The girl, he didn't want to be with her no more. She stabbed him to death. This was about a month or two ago. So it's just not women who are victims. Men fall prey on victims too. And as I always say, men, you guys need to know your worth too. And just because you're a man, you have to stay in an abusive, verbally, physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritual relationship because you're a man. You have feelings. You are not a robot. You are broken. You get broken. You have hurt feelings. You have emotions. You as well. So, don't allow anyone to make you feel any type of way as a man because you choose to walk away from dysfunctionalism. Rather, you are in whatever type of relationship, because I know in today's time is just a lot of different type of relationships. Rather they are agreed upon or not. We have same-sex relationships. If you are in one of those as a man and you are being in an abusive way, you don't have to stay. And if you definitely are with a woman, don't allow a woman to abuse you physically or anything, and you looked at as, oh, you're a weak man, because you hit her back, or and I'm not in any way agreeing to hitting a woman. I'm trying to say to walk away. It's okay as a man to say, look, girl, you about to have me catching several cases, so I'm gonna have several seats away from you. That is okay. A lot of times when we stay in type of relationships like that, not only do we lose a sense of self, we lose a sense of integrity. We lose a sense of pride. We lose a sense of our dignity. We lose a sense of life. We lose a sense of hope. We lose a sense of what faith is, and believing that we are who we were created to be, despite this person, despite the fact that they feel that they define me because I've allowed them to define me or feel that they have defined me. We have to come to a place in our life where we understand that it is okay to be functionalism. Sometimes we can stay in a dysfunctional relationship where there is a physical abuse, emotional abuse, and mental abuse, to the point that it becomes spiritual abuse because your spirit is now broken. It is crushed. It has been trampled upon. It is just smithereens at this point, and you are just hanging on to a dead relationship because you have been beaten so badly, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, or mentally, till you feel like you have no way out and there is no way to go. And sometimes if you're in a relationship where you have to walk on eggshells, or you're dealing with somebody who is severe bipolar or borderline schizophrenic, or into a massive depressive state where they are manic depressed and they are, just hard to deal with. And so you begin to maneuver and you begin to move around them. You begin to move the way you think that they want you to move, or the way they express in such a volatile way that you need to move this way, or this is what will be the consequences. Rather it's a big argument, blowouts, rather it's emotional abuse, rather it's mental, you ain't nothing, and if you think you're gonna go somewhere type, I'm gonna kill you, or you ain't nothing without me, or that type of, you ain't nothing, you ain't ugly, nobody wants you, what do you have without me, that type of verbal, mental, emotional abuse. When you finally do walk away from that, especially if you've been involved in that for years, that has now become a characteristic of you. That has now become a survival tactic. That has now become an accustomed way of life for you. And so when you finally do leave that, you have now put on some armor, some garb, some spiritual stuff that doesn't even belong to you, because you've had to live in a way that has caused you to change yourself, alter yourself, and you're walking around carrying characteristics of this person who have made you a victim, and now you have become them. You have become that monster that you are maybe afraid of, just don't want to be with anymore, or totally over, like I'm done, like I'm over the abuse. But when you leave the relationship, you have not really left. You've left the relationship physically. Your body is no longer, but you have not really left. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and then sometimes even physically, because of scars, physical scars. You have not left that relationship because you are still soul tied and bound to that abuse. And so until you can say to yourself that, hey, I need to heal. Hey, I need help. Hey, I need to deal with me. Hey, I need to recover. You will constantly bleed out. You will constantly bleed out. You will constantly bleed out on others who have absolutely nothing to do with the abusive relationship that you chose to stay in because you felt like you couldn't get out. And I'm not saying you chose to stay in it like, oh, that's what you get. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but it is a choice. And sometimes our choice is pride, that we don't want to reach out to someone else to say, hey, I'm over it. Can you help me get out of this? I'm scared. I fear for my life. And so a lot of people lose their lives when they could have saved their lives by just telling someone, anyone, and then getting out and staying out. I know it's so much easier than said, but these are the steps and the tactics that we have to use. The first one is, I need
in a quarter mile, use the second from the left lane to turn left onto Bland Boulevard.
So I say that you have to know who you are, and you have to know your worth. You have to be assured of your worth. You have to know that you are worth more than anything they ever spoke over you. And then you have to realize that when you get out of that trauma, that you carry trauma.
Use the second from the left lane to turn left onto Bland Boulevard.
You use trauma against those who are trying to help you. And not that you're purposely using the trauma, but the trauma has left a scar. The trauma has left some mental, what's the word I want to use?
In 1,000 feet, turn right at Chatham Drive.
Has left you with some mental disorder yourself. You have taken on
turn right at Chatham Drive, then turn right.
You have taken on some mental abuse, so now you are functioning in the way that person functioned, because you had to learn to live with them. You had to learn how to maneuver with them. And every day this became your routine. This became something that you did. This became something you were accustomed to. So when you get out and you deal with people who are in normalcy, you still are acting like you are bound and trapped in an abusive relationship and you can't get out. So you find yourself acting towards those with you like you had to act with them. So like if they woke up every day and one minute they're like, good morning, next minute they're like, what the F is you doing? Get the F out of here. You don't know. So you deal with people accordingly. And it's not even you realize you're doing it because it's been such a way of a life for you for so long that the tactics that you had to use, you still use them as a coping skill because you no longer know normalcy. So your family member could just have said good morning and you like good morning. And then you so used to the switch off. Next thing you know, you done cussed the whole house out. And they looking like, I just said good morning. Where did that come from? Like, why are you snapping out? And then that person is like, I don't know what's wrong with you. And the person is so used to it, they don't think nothing is wrong with them because this has absolutely been their way of life for so long.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Boykin Lane. Take the next left onto Boykin Lane.
This has been your way of life for so long that you don't even realize that you are acting this way. And you think that everyone else...
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Jefferson Avenue.
So coming against you and so against you, and it's not the case. The case is you have put on a garb that didn't belong to you. You have put on...
Turn left onto Jefferson Avenue.
You have put on something that didn't belong to you. And now you're carrying it into every other relationship. And though those relationships can be healthy, you are unhealthy. And you have not recognized that you are unhealthy yet. So a lot of times we'll say, well, they're coming against me. They're doing this, they're doing that. When really they're just trying to love you. But because you were in such a loveless, dysfunctional lifestyle in a relationship, you no longer know what functional and normalcy looks like. So I say to you guys that battle this daily, especially around the holiday time when people are going to start to embrace you and try to love on you, especially for escaping out of the situation, know that they genuinely love you and they genuinely care, and they're not trying to switch up, and they're not going to switch up. And do your best to recognize, hey, I just switched up on them. They ain't do nothing. You know, try your best to try to do that and pay attention and be self-aware of yourself, because people love you. We love you and we're here for you. And we truly want the best for you. And it's been so long that you stayed in that place that you no longer recognize that you're totally free. And you no longer have to bleed out and spill out on others what they are not truly trying to spill out on you. Learn that love is for you and you were meant for love, and that people are truly loving you. And keep that and hold that close to you so that you will have the understanding that you are worth every minute of the love. And you are worth every...
In 800 feet, use the second from the left lane to turn left onto Bland Boulevard.
That you have gone through, and it is okay to have gone through it. Because everyone...
Use the second from the left lane to turn left onto Bland Boulevard.
In some form, in some way, everyone has gone through it. Rather it's on the end of the family member who went through the abuse and they're trying to help them recover and understand all the chaotic thinking or the chaotic reactions, or rather it's the person who was in the abusive relationship and are now out of it. We have all gone through it in some form. But what I want to encourage the person who is coming out and is free, that you are better now than you ever were, and to embrace the best part of your life, which is your freedom, and learn that we do love you, and it is okay to allow us to do just that. Love you. Through your hurt, through your brokenness, through your trauma, and through the breakup. I just wanted to slide and have some real talk. I feel like someone needs to know that they are worthy. They are worth it. And time, along with the Holy One and love, heals all things. So remember, I'm praying for you, boo. Always. Just had to have this real talk. I'm back. Respectfully, y'all know who it is. Monty.